let's get to why you guys are here in the first place. Let's talk a little Black fragility. Why are these people so emotionally fragile? Recently, on Jubilee's spectacle of pseudo-intellectual engagement, the 20-verse-1 debate show, actress and comedian Amanda Seales, who describes herself as a radical, was pitted against 20 so-called Black conservatives. The framing relied on tired 1990s era tropes about Black Americans, such as Black-on-Black crime, reparations. What was most striking, however, was not their disagreement, but their convergence. Both Seales and her opponents were ultimately struggling over access to increasingly scarce resources within a bipartisan, authoritarian political economy. Despite their ideological posturing, both sides accepted the premise that Black liberation could only emerge through a more honest and ethical capitalism. For Seales, this meant reparations. For her opponents, it meant entrepreneurial uplift under a different name. Yet both positions reproduced the logic of market-based solutions, echoing the Democratic Party's response to the George Floyd uprisings, when calls for reparations were deflected into promises of access to capital. By the end of 2021, over $200 billion had been funneled into loans, startups, and incubator programs marketed as Black advancement. Even Kamala Harris attempted to sell cryptocurrency as a pathway to empowerment. The supposed conservatives, Seales debated, might more accurately be described as post-liberal Black Gen Z voices. Their rejection of Seales's framework did not emerge from the right in any traditional sense, but from a disaffection with liberal anti-racism itself. What Seales offered was not radical politics, but a familiar liberal moralism, the belief that American society can only be transformed when hearts and minds of white people are changed. This framework resonates with the Black professional managerial class she belongs to, precisely because it avoids class analysis. Instead, it emphasizes representation and race-based assistance, what Seales calls reparations and what her interlocutors reframe as incubator programs. Both Seales and the post-liberal Gen Zers ignored the historical role of universalist government programs, such as the New Deal and Great Society, in lifting millions of Black families out of poverty. Instead, their debate circled around culturist tropes and underclass ideology. For the Gen Z cohort, the pathology was not systemic racism, but Black culture itself, with rap music and its depictions of violence and hypersexuality offered as evidence of collective deficiency. Seales countered by reframing social problems solely as products of white racism, over-policing, underinvestment, systemic exclusion, yet without connecting these critiques to broader economic struggles or to demands for redistributive programs like job guarantees, debt cancellation, or the defense of public education against privatization. What unites both sides, then, was a shared disavowal of class politics. Their debate remained trapped within the ideological terrain of neoliberal multiculturalism, a politics of recognition and cultural pathology that leaves capitalism untouched, while vying for a larger share of its spoils. To